This is my top 5 list for my top 5 best commentators of 2023. And this is the list. A bunch of commentators have commentated this year. Everyone has commentated. Every single commentator has commentated this year. I'm going to I'm going to say which I think were the best in the top 5. And there's going to be some people that are loved and liked, but it comes down to their commentary skill at the end of the day, and their overall read on the game of MMA and combat sports, and their research. It comes down to all of it. Let's get started at number 5, in my opinion. By default, I think by default he's number 5. And it's Dominic Cruz. I think by default he's just number 5. I like Dominic Cruz. And he has been looking good this year. I don't see him much though, to be honest with you. I haven't seen him in a while. Maybe he was on the Sarukian Dariush card, but I haven't seen Cruz in a while. So he doesn't do it quite enough. It matters how much they do it as well, and that's also a big tell, but it matters more on their spirit of the game and their overall read and their overall research of the game and how deep they are in it. Like, if they know, like, someone like, I'm going to name some unknown, Jonathan Martinez, for example. That's like, they're they're not casual. They're a hardcore. So it matters if they're hardcore or casual. Dominic Cruz. I'll also read who wasn't on this list at the end of this video as well. But he's at number 5. Good this year. Just not enough. I haven't seen him enough, in my opinion. I just don't remember when Cruz was on last time. And I'll get to this next guy in a second, to where I've seen this next guy. He's always there. Cruz is just popping around here and there. I understand random fight nights, and he is looking good this year. I don't think it hits that number 4 spot, to where I think Daniel Cormier hits that number 4 spot. Cormier has been better this year. I'm going to be honest. He's been better this year. The same. But I think now that Cruz, remember when Cruz exposed Cormier, and Cormier was actually getting his shit done by other people, by another person, don't know who it was, but I think Cormier realized, I should just do my own shit. I think that's changed a bit. That was back in the end of 2021. That was 2 years ago now. Jeez, time's flying, but I think Cormier's gone better. There's one thing that annoys me with him though, and this is holding him back to who's number 3 and 2 and 1. I think we all know who number 1 is, let's be real. But still, what's holding him back, it's just every time I hate when he does this. Because I know he tries to hype it up a little bit more than he should. But come on. He got, good jab from Shara Magomedov. He's hurt. He's not hurt. He just got tagged with a good shot. When he's hurt, it means he's stumbly, or he gets dropped, or he's visibly hurt. That's what that means. Not, good jab from Shara Magomedov. Good jab there from Marvin Vettori. He's hurt badly. What fight was it? It's just random fight. I don't even know. He does it every time. Every time. And I know he tries to hype himself up, but come on. He landed a good jab. He's not hurt. That kind of annoys me. This is my list at the end of the day, so I think that just annoys me a bit, and it will lower him, in my opinion. Cormier's been good this year. Been better. Just I don't think he's there. He's climbed up a little bit, but that little part where he's that he's hurting when he isn't even hurt. Usman lands a right hand on Chimaev. Chimaev's hurt. He isn't hurt. Hurting someone's like when Diaz rocked Edwards. That's hurting someone. then you can go all out. But not. Usman added a good right hand on Khamzat Chimaev. Chimaev's hurt bad. He isn't hurt at all. Shut up. We move on to the number 3 spot in my opinion, which is, and don't hate me for this, it's been good this year. I'm not going to say, it's Laura Sanko. She's been really good this year, man. Way better than I expected. Way better. Now, there's been moments where it was annoying, and I rewatched some of it, and it's just annoying to hear a female voice in the commentary desk, like Strickland Adesanya. We heard it, I know the male voices, thank goodness, power over her female voice screaming, but still, you can just hear, oh, good shot from Sean Strickland. He needs to keep the jab going. It's really annoying. It really is. So, she is being way better than I expected, though. Earlier of last year, it's 2024 now. Earlier of last year, around February, Laura Sanko was brought to the commentary desk, and I was dreading. But she's worked her way here, and it paid off. So good for her. She's better than I expected. The Fight Night Apex cards are perfect for her. No offense, that's a compliment. Because she actually fits right in there with the shitty Apex cards. So she should, she can be on those cards. The pay-per-views, if it's in America, no. Let's just move on. Have Joe Rogan instead. If it's let's say, Dricus Duplessis, Sean Strickland's in Canada, put her on that pay-per-view. If the others can't make it, I'm sure she'd be a good fit. Yeah, she looked good this year. She's better than Cormier, I think. Based off shock factor, she looks good this year. She's more calculated than Cormier, in my opinion. Maybe she hasn't shown up as much as Cormier, but we can't just... I know this is commentary tier list, but she is there. I bet you she watches the fights if she's not commentating at home. I think that she's a hardcore fan. She deserves to be at number 3, in my opinion. Not as much as Cormier, I understand that. Cormier has a lot more events, but he's at every pay-per-view. That's basically it's just basically he's at every pay-per-view. Sanko should be at all the fight nights. I think she should be at all Apex fight nights, in my opinion. Why not capitalize on it? That's what I think she should do. We move on to number 2, in my opinion, which is Paul Felder. I think we all know what number 1 is, but I'm gonna save it. Paul Felder he's been the same, but he hasn't decreased. That's the thing. He's been the same. Calculated. He knows what he's talking about. But he hasn't decreased. And if anything, he hasn't increased either. But if anything, he did increase it more than decreased. Paul Felder has been extremely underrated this year. Knows what he's talking about. Knows the striking well. Cormier knows wrestling well. I'll mention that of him as well. I forgot to, but Felder's been good this year though. Felder's been really good this year. Knows what he's doing. Knows what he's talking about the striking game. He's smart. He's toned it down this year as well. Remember a few years ago, or a year ago, he'd making jokes about, Chris Dawkins! What was it? Philadelphia. He made a joke about Chris Dawkins after he KO'd Shamil Abdurakhimov. But he's toned down on that. I think he's taking this more serious instead of having those little jokes. He still has them. He doesn't really, though. I don't even remember the last time he made that joke. So I don't know. Paul Felder. Very good this year. More professional. He knows the skill of the game. He's number 2 in my opinion. The problem is, from him holding him back to be number 1. First off, number 1 is the GOAT of commentary in my opinion. But he's not there enough. He's not there enough. We have guys like Michael Bisping who's there more than him. Sometimes with him, but he's there more than him. But Felder, he doesn't really argue. You know, Bisping and Cruz argue sometimes and just go on rants. Felder's calm, professional, watching it. I think Felder deserves to be number 2. He's just not there enough. That's the thing. That if he was there a lot, he's at some pay-per-views, but he's not much. Let's be real, he's not there much. He'd be higher up and would be number 1, but number 1 on my list, the GOAT, John Anik. At every pay-per-view, honestly could be at this point, not even should be at the fight nights. I think he's earned that spot now to where he should just come every pay-per-view. You know, but he comes to fight nights some often. Alright, Apex Fight Nights, doesn't even have to, but is a fan of the sport. Hardcore, knows everything about the sport. You gotta put this guy number 1. He's there every time. Some fight nights he'll miss. Boo-hoo. Who cares? But the majority of the time, this guy's at every pay-per-view. Always professional. Always hypes up the fight. Without him, like, it'd be Rogan and Cormier. Rogan's not on this list, by the way. Fuck him. But still, without John Anik, it would just be Rogan and Cormier acting like losers. Honestly, but Anik makes it professional. Rogan and Cormier be screaming. It'd be weird. Anik makes it professional. He creates the commentary vibe. Makes the pay-per-views fun. He does. I won't say fun, but he makes it professional. Makes it so I should watch more. I'd still be hyped if it was Cormier Rogan. I wouldn't be as much, though. Anik just brings that, man. Brings it. Anik should be at number 1. He's such a GOAT. He's the GOAT as commentary. Knows what he's talking about. We'll make some giggly jokes here and there. But that's from Cormier's. That's from Cormier. He just responds to Cormier. And he will make some here and there, but he'll keep it brief. He won't go on like fucking Michael Bisping. When I was a fighter, like, I don't care, Bisping. Fucking watch the fight. And he'll make it hype. He'll make it hype. You know, when he had the Jorge Masvidal badass, this fight clock is sponsored by Modelo. It's just hype. John Anik is the GOAT commentary. I think he's been like this for a few years now. I don't see anyone taking him over. Paul Felder's a close second, I guess. Just doesn't show up enough, in my opinion. He just doesn't do enough, in my opinion. I don't think Felder will take over. Because Anik will be at every pay-per-view. Felder needs to be at every fight night, in my opinion. And then carry himself on to the pay-per-view. Just don't think he's there yet. Like, subscribe. Thank you for watching. Oh, and Joe Rogan, terrible, only at every pay-per-view, in America, by the way. So he won't be at the next one, and he will be at Ilya Volk, but still, he's never at fight nights, only at pay-per-views, doesn't care, doesn't know what he's talking about, no offense, but I like Joe Rogan, love Joe Rogan, funny guy, awesome guy. But he doesn't know what he's talking about sometimes after the time. Unbelievable. You know, he can't even pronounce names correctly. You know, most of them can't, I understand, but still, Rogan, he makes it, he's so, like, at least sometimes, like, Anik, like, will mistake her name, but it's close. You know? Kennedy and Zetchukwu. It's Kennedy Nzechukwu. It's clear. Nzechukwu. Not in Zetchukwu. Like, Rogan's terrible. Doesn't know what he's talking about. He's the worst out of all of them. Bisping just rambles, terrible himself. Knows some parts of the game with the striking because he was a world champion. He's better than Rogan, but he's not good either. And what is else? John Gooden. He's good. Doesn't have that voice, though. That voice, that's him with Bisping. These guys don't have the fucking voices for it. Yeah, once I was a fighter. It's like Sean Strickland on commentary. it wouldn't. He's good. He's smart, Strickland. If Strickland, like, let's say Strickland was smart and good, his voice is like Stipe, that raspy ass voice. Yeah, and John Gooden. Never at pay-per-views, some at Apex events. He's usually in the UK commentating. When they go to London and Paris, he's there for that. And he's good for that. Yeah, that's it though. Like, subscribe, thank you for watching. Anik's a GOAT. Don't see anyone taking him over for a while. Unless Anik fucks up massively somehow. Just don't see it. He's so professional, calm. A few crackling jokes here and there. He's the GOAT. Like, subscribe, thank you for watching. Peace.